If you're joining us today, you might find it handy to have a block and a strap. You could also use a shoebox stuffed with paper or a rope tie. Um, these are props that are nice to have, but you'll be able to practice without them if you don't have them, so that's fine. I just wanted to let you know that before we get started here shortly. So, if you're joining us today, go ahead and say hello and so that we know you're here, and we'll get started in just a moment. Hi, Ron. Glad you're here today. We'll just give another minute or two. There we go. I kind of forgot about this. So, anyway, so glad you're here. We'll get started in just a minute. So, welcome. And if you're joining us, go ahead and say hi so we know you're here. I'm Janis, and I'll be guiding our practice today for healing yoga. A block and a strap are nice to have. If not, that's okay, because we'll be just fine without one as well. So go ahead and find a comfortable seat, either in a sturdy chair or on your mat. Either way, whatever feels best in your body today. So our class today, my cat Finley, is around building a foundation. So one of the things about yoga is we practice yoga so that we can become very strong and grounded and centered, so that when things are going on all around us, we can find our center and just be at peace, and it makes life a little bit gentler to at times. So that's what our focus is going to be about today, is building a foundation. Right? So go ahead and find a comfortable seat, and whether you're on your mat or your chair. And then we'll just begin with the time of centering. So I invite you to close your eyes. And as you really root down into your seat, just feel that spine almost elongating, nice and tall. Your shoulders are relaxed, hands are relaxed. Maybe tip your chin forward just a bit. And notice your breath. Maybe your heartbeat. And then just consider, as you inhale and exhale in your natural manner, just know you're here during this time to do your practice. Take a moment to scan the body from your toes to your crown. And just notice if there are any areas of discomfort or tension or pain. And as we take a long inhale, just imagine sending that healing breath to that area, and then on the exhale, releasing that discomfort. So go ahead and breathe in and out. And you can also imagine sending the breath throughout the whole body. Let's do that a couple more times, breathing in and out. And again. So we'll be taking our time and pausing, just checking in with our foundation, keeping it strong and stable. I have a quote from David Allan Coe. It's not the beauty of a building you should look at. It's the construction of the foundation that will stand the test of time. So our mantra today is, I love the idea of building an unshakable foundation. Think about that for a moment. I love the idea of building an unshakable foundation. And then bring the hands in front of the belly and just touch the pinky fingers together as you gently draw back the other fingers and the thumb. So this is Kanita Mudra, and it's all about connection to the earth and grounding and calming. So as we sit in our centering time with our mudra, let's practice Apanavayu, which is a breath practice. Close the eyes, keep a long spine, a relaxed body, and as you exhale, feel an energy flowing down the torso from the top of the head to the tailbone and through the legs and the feet. So let's try that again, closing our eyes, long spine. Take a nice long inhale. And as you exhale, feel that energy within flowing down the torso from the top of your head to the tailbone, through the legs and the feet. Continue to practice Apanavayu. You can continue to hold the mudra, or if the hands tire, you can rest them in your lap. Do you wish to rise? Begin by descending. You plan a tower that will pierce the clouds. Lay first the foundation of humility. St. Augustine. Go ahead and open your eyes. Keeping a soft gaze, we'll inhale, take our hands to sky. Exhale toward the earth, being mindful of shoulders. Breathing in and only bring your arms up as far as is comfortable for your shoulders. Do that one time, breathing in and out. So Apanavayu is a downward energy, and so that is a beautiful breath practice when we're looking at laying a foundation. Okay. So let's go ahead and begin by warming up the body. Before we do, I have a little practice for the feet for us to try. So begin by fanning out the toes, and then flex the arches. And just point and flex. And just as you do this, perhaps lifting the feet to point if you're in the chair, and then lifting the toes to flex. If you're on the mat, you can stretch your legs out and point and flex. I just would like you to do it really slowly and notice all of the muscles and tendons, ligaments, and joints that get into this action. We're really honoring our feet today. For many of us, they are our foundation. Okay. And then you can either interlace your hands under your leg and lean back a little bit to warm up the knee, or you can use your strap to create a little kind of a hammock, if you will, keeping the elbows in. We're just going to bend and straighten the leg slowly. Just warming up the knee joint, getting that synovial fluid moving. And then just heel toe the leg out a bit. And now we'll do the same, but move around in the hip joint. And again, you can, if you don't have a strap, you can lean back in your chair to do this. You can even do it lying on your back with your leg extended. And then we'll go the other way. If this is too intense for the hip, then just keep your foot closer to the floor and just move it in a smaller circle, or what feels good for your hip. Let's go to the other side. And we'll begin by warming up the other knee joint. The key is going slowly. We're not kicking anything. We're just moving that joint. And then for the hip, you can take to the side. And they don't have to be big circles. It can be small hip circles. And at some point, pause and go back the other direction. You know, and knees on either side of the body, go ahead and relax. And hips on either side of the body, they can feel very differently. So if you're experiencing that, that's pretty typical. All right. And let's bring the heels of the hands into the hip creases. As we inhale, lift the heart. As we exhale, round the back. If you have osteoporosis or spine concerns, just lean back and maintain a long spine. So we'll inhale, lifting the heart, and exhale, either keeping the spine long or rounding it. So go ahead and move through a few of these at your pace, at your slow pace. Gently warming up the spine. Then we'll come to seated. And we're just going to do a gentle side bend. Not even lifting the other arm, but just moving to one side and then the other. Just so you're noticing some length here, but not really straining the shoulders by lifting the arm quite yet. Right? Then bring the fingertips to the shoulders, and you can draw circles with your elbows. They can be small and work their way and become larger, and then go the other direction and come back to how you began, or you can keep them small. Just notice how your shoulders are feeling. And just make sure you go in both directions, being gentle. And then relax the hands down and just shrug those shoulders up. Just bring them up as high as you possibly can, squeezing in to the sides of the neck, up to the ears. And then release as if someone's pressing down on your shoulders. Do that one time, breathing in and out. And you can do some shoulder rolls if that feels good to you. All right, let's say hello to our neck by gently reaching one ear toward the shoulder and coming back to center and then going to the other side. Okay, let's go back to the first side again, and we'll hold here for a moment, sitting nice and tall. Just notice what you're feeling and where. We're not straining. You want to feel a stretch, but it should feel good. There's a balance between effort and ease here, but never any pain or strain. And then come back and let's explore on the other side. And as always, one side might feel very different. Typically, people are tighter on one side than the other. And then back to center, and then let's take our gaze to one side, looking out over one shoulder. Back to front, and let's look out over the other shoulder. We're not looking behind us, just to the side. Back to front. And then bring the arms up and bring the fingertips, the back of the skull, and use your thumbs to find that spot at the base of the skull. And just give yourself a little massage there. Just, you decide how hard you want to press. And then bring the arms back down to your sides. And we will begin with our first posture, Tadasana. I'm going to check to make sure everything's okay. If anyone has any questions? Looks good. And we're going to do another exploration with the feet in Tadasana. So find your Tadasana. You can practice in the chair or standing. Feet about hip distance apart. That is usually about 2 fists or so. You could. It kind of just depends. Everybody's body is different. All right, so we're solid in our foundation. Slight bend in the knee, so they're not hyper extended. And relax your shoulders down and back. Nice long spine. Chin, maybe just tilt it downward a bit, but gaze forward. And now I bring your attention to your feet. Root into the center part of the heel bone. Just really press into that area, into the surface below. Now I want you to radiate energy from that point outward through the inner arch to the big toe. So as you're rooting down into the heel, feel the energy moving through the arch to the big toe. Now feel that energy continue across from the big toe to the little toe. And then feel the energy as it moves back to the heel via the outer edge of the foot. You can practice this seated or standing. Let's do it one more time because this class is all about foundation, and our feet are our foundation. So we're pressing, rooting into the earth through our heel, feeling that energy up along the arch to the big toe, across to the little toe, and via the outer edge. Feel that foot just come alive. You may even feel that energy through the legs. So that's a little practice you can do really any time. You don't have to be in Tadasana. But it feels, it's really good for the feet to just be very, very aware of the energy there and the different ways and parts of our feet that support us. All right, so from here, we will take our arms overhead and an inhale. And as we exhale, we're just going to come down to a half bend with the knees slightly bent. So you're hinging from the hips, keeping a long spine. And then breathe up, breathe up. Inhale, back, arms back up. Exhale back to that half bend. Inhale up. Exhale a little bit of a twist. Just to the side. Arms up, breathing in. Exhale a bit of the twist to the other side. Breathing in. Exhale, half fold. Rise up, breathe in. Exhale, hands at heart center. Inhale, taking the hands to the back, right on the sacrum, and lift the heart. This is a standing cobra. Exhale to center. Okay. And we'll repeat that again. So inhale, arms up. Exhale, half fold. Breathing in, reaching up. Exhale to a twist. Inhale. Exhale, twist to the other side. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Breathing into cobra. Exhale, Tadasana. One last time. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, a half fold. Breathe in. This is also Hastasana. Exhale, hands at heart center. So just a little bit of a slow flow there to warm up as we move into our first dynamic posture. So we'll take our legs wide. If you are practicing in a chair, you'll have one leg out to the side. This leg can be right here, so your leg's L-shaped. You could extend it outward, keeping a slight bend in the knee, or you could extend, just have a little bit of movement here in the hips, and you could extend the leg out, but keeping the foot flat on the floor. So that we're building a foundation, so it's really important when you're practicing in a chair to find the one where you can press your feet into the surface below you and feel the legs engage without discomfort. For friends that are practicing standing, we'll take our legs wide. Toes face the short end of the mat. Back foot, you just kind of angle that foot out a bit and bend that front knee. So this is our foundation. You can have a chair right in front of you to rest your hands on for balance support. It's a great idea, depending on what you need today. And then we'll bring our arms up. Now, if the shoulders bother, you can do this posture right here with your arms, or you can bring them out. Relax those shoulders, taking the gaze out over that front leg. Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. Absolutely a posture of strength and stability. Feel those feet rooting into the earth. Whether you're seated or standing, they are pressing into the surface below as you are rising up strong. Inhale, and then as you exhale, face the long edge of your mat and bring your hands to heart center. Inhale, Warrior 2. Exhale, hands to heart center. Continue to move slowly Notice your foundation is unshakable. Nothing is happening different with your foundation other than the bending and straightening of the knee. Your feet are rooted. You're practicing that unshakable foundation as we just move dynamically with the breath, building strength and balance. And by moving with the breath, just feeling peaceful within our movement. And go ahead and finish up where you're at, and then we'll bring both toes facing toward the long edge of the mat. So, okay. Bring a little bit of a bend to the knee, and then we'll just hinge forward from the hips for a half forward fold with wide legs. If it feels supportive to you, you can have your hands on the block here. We're not doing a full forward fold quite yet. And then we can press into the earth so we come back up to standing. This time, point the other toes toward the short edge of the mat. The back foot angles out. And you have to kind of play with the distance between your feet to see what feels best to you, what feels stable and strong and not too much strain. Shouldn't be any strain. Bend that front knee. I like to kind of shimmy back just a bit because sometimes we have a tendency to go forward. All right, here we go. Take that gaze out over that front leg. And we're going to start by just taking a few breaths here. Feeling the strength, the stability as our feet root. We're strong. Shoulders are relaxed, down and back. Now we'll inhale, and then as we exhale, face front. Breathing in. So just moving dynamically with the breath. Inhaling to warrior two. Exhaling, facing front. Now here's an example, like for me, this can be a bit of a strain on my knee on this side, so I just don't bend it as far. There's no pain in yoga. I'm still receiving the same benefits, but there's no pain. If anything would ever hurt, you back off immediately. That's not what yoga is about. You can go ahead and do one more. Your hands at heart center. Bring both toes facing the front edge of your mat. And this time, if you would like, we might take our forward fold, wide-legged forward fold, a little farther, or you can keep it at a half fold. It's whatever's best for you. So we'll breathe in and out as we hinge forward from the hips, not the waist. I like to take my block out a little bit, and so you can just be here for a half fold. If you want to explore, you could take your block down at a lower. And if you don't have a block, you can put your hands on your legs for support. And then bend the knees and press up. Breathe in and out. Beautiful. So a dynamic movement coming in and out of a posture is very calming as well, and builds the strength in the foundation. So again, building that foundation to be calm. All right, next, let's go ahead and move toward a seat. You can sit in a chair or you can sit on your mat. Give you a moment to do that. And be extending both legs, keeping a slight bend of the knee, just so that you're not hyperextending. And just not pointing the feet, not really flexing the feet, but just having those feet coming straight up, maybe like a 90-degree angle in your ankle. Okay, and rooting down into your seat, having a nice long tall spine. And then maybe your arms are here, maybe they're here, maybe they're here. You have your arms be wherever your shoulder likes best. Down, staff posture. So the legs are active here, especially if you're in a chair. You're pressing out. So engage the legs. Engage your core as you sit up. And if you're in the chair, you could even lean forward just a bit to establish that 90-degree as well. To be safe. I'm going to fall forward. Then stable to you. Relax the shoulders. And if the shoulders tire, you can just choose a different arm position. Very grounding, solid posture. Let's inhale. And as we exhale, just relax the body. Kind of shake those legs out, however that feels good to you on the mat or in the chair. Just give them a little bit of a wiggle. Okay, and then we'll bend one knee and then the other, and with both feet on the mat, on the earth. Go ahead and bring your hands to heart center. Okay, and then we'll shift our arms to one side, our gaze to the opposite direction, and just see what it might be like to lift that foot on the same side your gaze is at and lower. Now, if you're doing this sitting on the mat, make adjustments so that you're not feeling strained in the back. And then we go to the other side. So maybe you just lift your toes. Even though I'm just lifting my toes, I still feel the engagement of the leg. And back to center. We'll just do one more of those on each side. You don't even need to lift the foot if it doesn't feel good in your body today. You can just consciously engage that leg. And then back to center. Relax your hands. Half Lord of the Fishes posture. Bring one leg toward the center and cross the other leg over. If you're practicing in your chair, if you're practicing on the mat, you have one leg extended and the other leg is crossed over like this. In the chair, one leg the other. Okay. Now, we're just maintaining a tall spine. Okay. And this is a bit of a twist. Now, if twists do not feel good in your body, simply sitting like this is a great way to practice. If you would like to explore what it might feel like to twist, let's start with an open twist. So put your same hand on your same knee, and then we'll just open to the side. This is more of an open twist and is gentler. Keep that tall spine. Sometimes there's a tendency to kind of collapse in, so just keep it nice and tall. And continue breathing. And then bring that outstretched hand, so you bring the opposite hand to the knee. Let's see what it feels like to go the other way. And I'm just taking my hand out to the side. I'm not trying to force it or even look behind me. I'm experiencing the benefits. And taking a few breaths here, maintaining that long spine, engaging that core to sit nice and tall. And then bring that hand back to center. We'll uncross our legs. Just take a moment to give those legs and knees a little rub. And then we will cross the opposite leg over. And this might feel very differently from the first side, or it might not. We don't know. So we'll cross the leg over. Nice tall spine. We're going to have the same hand on that knee and look away from that knee to the side. And just breathing naturally. And then when you're ready, bring that opposite hand to that knee, and we'll explore what it's like to go to the other side. And maybe you're pausing here. Maybe it doesn't feel good to go. So maybe you think, on this side, I feel a little tighter. I'm just going to come part way. That's good to pay attention to how your body is feeling and to honor it. And we'll bring that hand back to center, uncross the legs, and just let them flow. Now, if you would like, if you're practicing on your mat, this next practice is Apanasana, or knee to chest. And if you would like to lie on your back to practice this, you absolutely can. I would just say, come to the floor via the side body, and then come to your back. And then bend one knee, actually bend both knees. So you're lying on your back with knees bent. I'll be demonstrating how it looks in a chair. And how it looks in a chair is you get to lean back and let the back of that chair support you. So right now we're just leaning back or lying on our mat. Both knees are bent. And we're just going to bring one knee as close into the chest as possible. This is a posture that is wonderful for releasing before resting. We're just letting this be. And then we'll gently, now if you're in the chair, come forward with your legs so you're kind of rocking. Less strain on the back. Okay. Now we'll go ahead and do the second knee. So go ahead and bring that towards your chest. If you're lying on your back, you're good. In the chair, go ahead and let the back of the chair support you. Just taking a few breaths here as we're preparing for the resting part of our practice. Just releasing anything that no longer serves so we can rest and let our body absorb our work. Okay, and then if you're in the chair, rock forward with your leg. Lower your foot to the earth. All right, so let's go ahead, and if you're already on your back, get comfortable and maybe put a rolled up towel or blanket under your knees. Maybe you have a little pillow under your head. You can get as comfy as you would like on your mat. And then if you're practicing Shavasana in the chair, just go ahead and scoot back so that you can lean back and let the back of that chair support you. Grab your block or something to put your feet up on, because just bringing your feet up, it just allows your legs to and relax. When they're on the floor, there's still some muscle engagement going, having them hold there, but this way they can really relax. And you can just bring your hands to your sides. You can use a rolled up towel to put around your neck for support if you would like. So get comfortable in your mat or in your comfy chair maybe, wherever you may be sitting or lying for Shavasana. And let's just take a nice deep breath in and out. Shavasana. Very important part of our yoga practice, a time where we practice resting, a time where we can rest the body and allow it to absorb the benefits of our practice today and let all those different things we did integrate to bring comfort and ease to your body. So feel your feet soften and be heavy as they're supported by the surface below. Your whole legs, let them just soften and be heavy. They're not going anywhere, they're supported. Let your seat and your belly just soften as well. Your torso. Let those shoulders just relax and get comfy. Your arms loose as noodles. Have your palms up. Palms up, it's a beautiful gesture of both giving and receiving. And if we have them up, that helps us to, if we have a tendency to try to grip the floor or the mat, there's no gripping or strain in Shavasana. Let the head and neck relax, be soft. Just let that head be heavy and supported. Just feel your scalp loosen. Your forehead, area around your eyes, the area around your ears. Just let it all be so soft. Your cheeks. Allow that lower jaw to drop a bit and open slightly so the jaw can relax as well. You're safe, you are supported. I'll watch the time and tone the bell when it is time for us to prepare for the closing of our practice. If the foundation is firm, the building can withstand studies. The practice of yoga is the foundation so that the self is not shaken under any circumstances. Go ahead and wiggle your fingers and your toes. Bend one knee and then the other, bringing your feet to your mat, to the surface. And if you are lying on your mat, go ahead and roll to one side. Then gently and slowly press yourself up to a seated position. Bring the back up away from the chair as we find our comfortable seat. I love the idea of building an unshakable foundation. Okay, with a soft gaze, inhale, hands to sky. Exhale. Breathing in and out. And lastly, bring the arms up, bring the palms together, and just slowly bring them down towards the heart center. Taking a moment to consider something for which you're feeling grateful. Thank you for practicing yoga with us today. Be safe, be well, be filled with peace. Namaste. We'll see you next time.